Have you all come forward, please?
I'll begin. I'm going to have these guys and ladies introduce their individual teachers, but if you'll just indulge me just for a second to tell you that 4 years ago, I had the opportunity to lean on a couple of teachers at Cravens Elementary School to maybe strongly suggest this process, and happy to say they attained it within their first year. It's a pretty rigorous process. It takes well over a year. Involves a lot of videoing, self-evaluation of their teaching. It's far more in depth than the teacher typically going out and getting their rank 1 or 30 hours above their master's. One of those teachers that obtained that 3 years ago was one that happened to get a $25,000 check at Cravens Elementary School the other day. So that was certainly a feather in his cap. We came back and was sort of challenged to do a little recruiting of our district, because while we were there, we saw one district that had 9 folks that were represented, and they sort of got a special shout out at the state capitol that particular day. On our way back, we said, you know what, we can probably do better than that. So we went around to a lot of the faculty meetings at schools by invitation of principals, telling about the National Teacher Certification Program. And this past year, we had 28 that registered. A few had to drop out for family issues and so forth, and as you well know, 15 of those passed. And those other ones are certainly going to go back and finish the parts that they do to increase. So they need to be commended, because they put together a great package that tells a story about their teaching habits, and first and foremost, it's a reflection on how well they serve our kids, and they're not afraid to evaluate their own teaching style. So that is what it's all about. So without further ado, I'll have the principals now introduce their staff, and I think maybe tell a little bit about each one of those.
I'll talk about the high school first. Just like Mr. Gaddis said, this is a very intensive process. I think it's a true testament to the staff members that have taken on this challenge. I mean, it's truly a testament to their dedication to teaching. It's a testament to their tenacity, because it is a very intensive process. And then it is also, I mean, work ethic. They took this process on. And also, you got to keep in mind, they're still doing their full teaching load, their family lives. So it is, it's a huge amount of time, and it is, they should be really admired for doing this. So I'm very, very proud of everyone. But I'll talk about the high school. Erin Odd is a special education teacher at Owensboro High School. I don't see, is Erin here? Don't see him? Okay, Aaron teaches special education. He does a fantastic job for us. He came over from one of the elementary schools, and it's not easy to move from elementary to high school. And he's just done a tremendous job, and we're really glad to have him there. Sheila Cooper, if you come up, Sheila teaches math at Owensboro High School, and I've taught with Sheila for many, many years. She does a wonderful job. She can teach anything from Algebra 1 to Calculus 2. I mean, and that's the truth. Julie Mann teaches business technology. Julie has taught in several schools in the district, and taught at the high school, and is back at the high school. I'm very proud of her and the things that she's been able to accomplish. And she's a fantastic teacher, and also does FBLA. I mean, she's when we're doing it, she's there, just like Miss Cooper has done NHS for many, many years. Michelle Pagan does math at the high school, and she's like Miss Cooper. She can teach it all and does a fantastic job, and she did this whole process with a little one at home, and so we're very proud, very proud of Michelle. Brian Smith teaches business technology. Brian is a fantastic teacher. You walk in his classroom, his kids are on task and busy, and does a great job, and we're very, very proud of Brian. Jean Wilson teaches special education. We stole her away. She came from Cincinnati. She had taught at Lafayette and Lexington. She's taught in many different places. She teaches special education, and she does a fantastic job and teaches mostly the science area classes. So we're just really, really proud of these folks. And again, this has taken a lot of time, and until you watch somebody go through this process, you really don't appreciate what they've had to do. So they deserve a round of applause. Oh, am I supposed to do that?
Yeah. First group. Aaron's not here, right? Right. Thank you so much. My gosh, what a commitment this has been from all of you all. Michelle, thank you so much. What's going on?
Now don't leave, because we need pictures.
Yeah, we need a picture.
I knew that was happening.
So
Kim said, now let's take the pictures.
Thank you.
They always get pictures.
Put the math in. Thank you so much. You know all those places you told us.
You want to do it up here, Julie?
Yeah.
Right here, Shelley.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
Up here, Betty B.
Get in there, please.
Okay.
You need to take this.
Sure, please.
Okay.
It's my fault. It's always my fault. I always fault.
Do you want them to stay up here to get a large group? Or?
Actually, if you all would like to just step up, then we'll do the whole group.
Okay.
At Owensboro Middle School, we had 2 teachers this year who completed the national board process, bringing our total at our school to 6. So we're very proud of the 2 teachers that undertook this process. And the first of which we'd like to bring up here is Alicia Meyer. Alicia is our choral music teacher for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Tonight, she'll be conducting 135 6th, 7th, and 8th graders who'll be singing tonight at Owensboro High School. So if anybody's got some time tonight and like to see a good concert, they'll be in action tonight. She also has another 55 to 56 or so 5th graders that she works with on a daily basis. So she affects probably 200 students out of the 1,200 that we have or out of the 1,300 that we have at Owensboro Middle School. So she is a huge part of what we do, and we're very thankful to have her. We really expanded the choral music program over the last couple of years, and we're very, very proud of what she does. Alicia's got 23 years in education, and this is her 8th with the Owensboro Public School System. Thank you, Alicia, for everything. And we also had Megan Payne. Megan is a special education, emotional behavioral disorder teacher that we have, and she's been with the district, she said, for right at 7 years. She said she was hired in December 7 years ago, so she's coming up on her 7th anniversary of working for the school district. Megan not only teaches at our school, but she also is a love and logic trainer for the district, where she goes around to schools and talks to them about how to handle students who maybe come from difficult backgrounds, and some of the ways that you can de-escalate situations whenever you have students who are a little bit challenging. She works daily with students to do and does an excellent job with what with the job she's charged to do, and we're just very proud and very very glad to have her here with us at Owensboro Middle School. So thank you, Megan. Scoot up.
Thank you.
All right. My name is Steve Breicher. I'm principal at Newton Parish Elementary. And I really appreciate it. I think it was 2 years ago, Chris did come by our school and really gave a spark to some of our students to take on a different challenge. And it really we had a really group of 9 people that decided to do the process. And we had 5 that passed this time, and we have a couple that are going back and finish up the part they need to finish, and hopefully they'll finish up this year. And then we actually have 2 more that started this year. So Hopefully, we have 5 now, and hopefully by the end of next year, we will have 10 total in our building. So we're very excited about that opportunity. But one thing I would like to mention, it was the people that before that earned their national board certification that were really good mentors to our group going through it. So we really appreciate all their support with our staff. I'll start off by recognizing Zalitha Brown. She teaches P3 at our building. And then I'd like to recognize Tanya Lewis. She teaches 4th grade. Patty Moore, she's our media specialist. Sharon Sadler, she is a kindergarten teacher in our building. And Michelle Settle teaches P2 in our building. The great thing about this process, sometimes you'll go back and get some better yourself by taking classes and stuff, but this process has actually really carried over into our classrooms and made a big difference in our building. So they are now leaders in our building. They've inspired other people to continue what they're doing. Also, the next person they're going to recognize is Courtney Hinkelbarger, which started off in our building, got transferred to, well, to get transferred, actually got hired as a curriculum facilitator at Craven. So we're honored to have her being recognized tonight as well. So congratulations to them.
I'm Jimmy Ledan, and I'm principal at Cravens Elementary School. And like Steve mentioned before, Courtney Hinkelbarger is a person at my school that earned national board certification. And I just have to say that I feel like I'm the luckiest principal in Owensboro Public Schools because Courtney is a unique person in regards to her level-headedness. She's very mature. She's the smart one on my team, there's no doubt about it, and I am very grateful that she went through the process because I think it really built her toolbox to be a leader in my school and a person who can influence change, and so very proud of Courtney and all her hard work.
Well, and last but certainly not least, and I don't believe she's here this evening, from Fast Elementary School, we have Sarah Yates, who's off on maternity leave. So I wouldn't be here either if I were her. I'd be home playing with my new baby. But we do want to recognize Sarah and have her name entered into our record. And if you would please, in absentia, give her a round of applause. These National Board Certified Teachers are highly accomplished educators who meet high and rigorous standards, and becoming board certified is a 10-step procedure that takes more than a year's work, including time spent videotaping their classroom sessions, self-evaluations, written tests, assessments, and self-critiques. I certainly commend each and every one of you for the effort and the work that you put into this, and I hope this time next year we have 14 or 15 more. Thank you so much. Everybody, all in a pile.
Julie, would it help if you had a row of chairs for some to sit in?
Some could stand up here on this.
That'd be a good idea, if somebody would just step up on the...
Yeah, that's all right.
Mine has a public school heirloom. It's been around for 100 years.
Well, I'll tell you like I tell the children, don't move in case one of your family wants to take a picture. Make sure all the snaps are gone before you go take it off.
And because there are a lot of eyes in blank, I'm going to take a couple more.
I would like to encourage all of you to stay and not leave. We have some retirement recognitions that we would like you to be present for. So ordinarily I tell you, the mundane part's happening. It's not yet. So hang in there, please.
Well, we've had a really good week in the Owensboro Public School System. We had a visit from the mayor. It was front page of the paper, and we had Ryan Williams, who was selected as the Milken Educator and received a $25,000 personal grant for that effort. And yesterday we found out we were part of the GREC initiative, and we were part of a $40 million Race to the Top grant. So I don't know how you could have much of a better week than what we've had. We come to a part of our program now that I really dread because we have two board members who are retiring from the board, didn't seek re-election. And these two individuals have been so supportive and have provided tremendous leadership during the period of time that they have served on our board. They were on the board before I got here, and so the whole 12 years I've been here, I've really leaned upon them for their guidance. Anytime we had to make a major decision, I really wanted to know what both of them thought about it, because I knew that they were really just interested in bettering the Owensboro Public School System, and the students of the Owensboro Public School System has been their only focus. Jane Hayes has been fantastic. Her really passion is to involve students. Every time we had any kind of project, she wanted to know where was the student voice represented in our project. So that has been her passion, is to make sure that we had students involved and listen to students in making any decisions that were made. So again, I think if I had to identify anything that she was passionate about more than anything else, would be that she wanted students heard, and we wanted to be considered when we talked about anything, because it's all about them, and she's absolutely right about that. So anyway, she's got a couple of grandkids that don't live right around here, and so she just made a decision to be closer to them. And so, but we really congratulate her on that move, and I know she's excited about being up there with them, and I know what she's talking about because I've got 4 myself, and so it's a whole lot different world when you've got those little ones around, so we're going to miss her a great deal. She's been dedicated and has attended, I'd say about 99% of all of our luncheons and other activities that we've had since she's been on the board, since I've been here. And so again, Jane, we're going to miss you tremendously, and I think we have a little something for you.
So I can see the, so I
you'll
can
know
see
what
the
time.
hands of time. Thank you all so much. I feel, I was telling some people at the reception, I feel kind of like a fraud that that everybody keeps thanking me for my service. I feel like that all we do is come up with the ideas and kind of spread those out to our staff, and they're the ones that do all the hard work and effort to make all those things come true for our students. And I've just really been blessed for 13 years to be able to be a part of this. And so thank you very, very much. Appreciate it.
Wait a minute for Chris to get over here. Thanks, appreciate it. These little babies.
Well, I could say that Dr. Gillum has probably made the greatest sacrifice of any board member that I've ever been around. As most of you know, he's a surgeon, and I've availed myself of his services in an unmentioned fashion a couple of times. And he's good and he's quick. So I kind of mentally calculated, I kind of looked at the insurance claim that went his way, and I've calculated about how many hours he's spent giving service to this school district when he could have been doing something else and been pretty well rewarded for that activity. So when you look at the number of days he's taken off to go to school board conferences and the number of school board luncheons when he probably could have been done about 3 of those procedures, you can see that he probably has made a financial contribution that would have put 2 of his kids through college. And he has several that he has put through college. And so again, the other board members have spent the same amount of time, but his time has been time that he has taken away from a very busy medical practice, and there are not many people that were in his position that would have sacrificed that much to help students in our school district and have a better place for our teachers to teach and a better environment for our kids to learn. So again, I can't tell you how much he has meant to me, the encouragement he has given me, and his heart has always been and always will be in the right place. Dr. Gillum?
Thanks for all those kids going through our system.
Yeah, we appreciate it, all the children.
That was all our seat money.
Now you'll know what time it is all the time.
This is probably apropos because I have to admit there were a lot of meetings I was late. There's no question about this. This will help me get there on time for everything else. It's been a real joy to be here with the school board. It started, I guess, my yearning to be around kids and do things for not only my own kids but for other kids started when I first came to town. And I have to tell you, our basketball coach right now was the one that led me to this. My oldest son was starting at the boys club to play basketball. He's probably 5 years old. And Rod called me and said, we need a coach for your son's team. And I didn't know anything about basketball coaching or anything like that, so I told Rod, there's no way I can do that. I just not possible. I don't have time, I don't have the knowledge or anything else. So that was about 5 o'clock in the evening. Didn't sleep a wink all night because I just told Rod that I didn't have time for my own child, didn't have time for other people's children. Called him the next morning at 8 o'clock, said, you got a coach. So from then on it was about the kids. Being around the school board and the members here, Dr. Vick, all the support staff and principals, been a real blessing all these years. I'll miss it a lot, and thank you so much.
Here, you get in the middle. Get in the middle here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
this time, Commissioner Johnson is going to put on his other hat and make a little presentation to these board members as a city commissioner. David, if you can come forward.
It's a long-standing tradition in local government that when you have citizens that make an incredible contribution to your community, not just in the field that they're working in, but when they dedicate their time and their energy to make your community as a whole better, the highest honor I think local elected officials can give them is a symbolic key to the city. But this, even though it's a symbolic key, the symbol from us is how much we appreciate they've done. And when you look at the tenure of these two board members and what's happened in the Owensboro Public Schools in the last 2 decades, I don't think anyone can argue that they've made a significant contribution. And as elected officials, and on behalf of the mayor and the city commission, we want to thank them and present them with the key to the city.
We have one other individual that is not a board member, is an employee, but he has been such a dedicated employee and has made as much difference in our district as anybody that I could possibly imagine. Alan Howard has been our director of facilities and maintenance since I've been here. Dr. Chandler, who most of you know that was here at the reception we just had, he was pretty free giving me advice when I first got here, and some of it I took and some of it I didn't. But anyway, we laughed about part of it that I didn't. But anyway, he told me, he said, well, let me tell you one thing. He says, whatever you do, don't you run off Alan Howard, because he's going to be the best employee you've got. And he's right. Alan has done a fantastic job. I remember about the second year I was here, we were doing a project over at Estes Elementary, putting in a handicap ramp. School's about to start. Now every year he scares us. He'll take on some pretty big projects and be about a week before school starts, and it'll look like heck. And you'll think there is no way under the sun that we can start school. And that hadn't happened one year, it happens about every year. So he scares us pretty bad. But I remember that one particular year, I thought I better go over there and check on this project, because I don't believe we're going to be able to start school. Can't get in the front door because he's building a ramp right in the way. And I go over there and I look around, I don't see Alan anywhere. And then I get to looking a little bit more, and he's got a bandana on, keeping the sweat out of his eyes while he's laying brick. And he's the supervisor, but he was laying brick. And that kind of made an impression upon me. And ever since then, I've kind of noticed, and he doesn't mind doing whatever needs to be done. If it's laying brick or scraping snow off our parking lots or doing electrical work himself, he'll do whatever it takes. And he is well educated. He's got a master's degree, but he works, and that's a high commendation as far as I'm concerned. Somebody that can plan a project, supervise the project, and if need be, help work on it. And so you don't find those traits in supervisory people as often as we'd like to. So again, he has guided us for the last several years, and our buildings, although a lot of them are not new, they're really good buildings in which to educate kids. The roofs don't leak, the heat works, the air conditioning works, and he has done over the years, he saved us hundreds of thousands of dollars. Our buildings are energy efficient. We didn't do just one project and say we're going to save energy, but every time he changes a light bulb almost, he puts one in that's going to be more efficient than the one he takes out. Every time a hot water heater blows up, he'll put a tankless one in that's going to save us some energy. And so over a period of time, we have become very energy efficient because of Alan's leadership and thoughtfulness in these areas. He has, in this building, we were pretty lucky. We traded the parking lot that they put the library on now for this facility. And it took a while. Most people would have just contracted having the work done and moved in 6 or 8 months earlier. But he said, we can do it. And so everything you see, the only thing that his crew didn't do was put a new roof on it and put the floors down. But all the HVAC, the plumbing, the suspended ceilings, all the electrical changes, totally renovated, put restrooms where we didn't have restrooms where they were needed. And so it's like I say, it probably took us 6 or 8 months longer to get in this building, but I imagine it saved us $1 million over what a contractor would have charged us to do this work. And so again, the district is in pretty good financial shape, and Alan Howard is a big part of that because he's been able to do things very efficiently and effectively, and has hired people with the right skills to where we hardly ever have to contract out any work. So again, we're really going to miss him in this district because he is the go-to person when anything needs to be done. And we call him in the middle of the night, and he comes because he knows what needs to be done and how to do it. And so, Alan, would you come forward?
Trying to give him a big head, I think, but it takes a team. Our team has been from a good board, good superintendent. I told Dr. Chandler a while ago, anytime anybody got on my case, I told him it was his fault because they hired me. He hired me. He said, that's why all these people have been coming to me and fussing at me, He's always got an answer, but it has been. It's been a joyful ride. I'm a graduate of Davis County High School. And I told this story in there a little earlier, that the first time I walked the halls of senior high, the hair stood up on the back of my neck. We were rivals. We grew up as rivals, but we become friends, loved ones, and I was allowed to hire good people. Good people makes me. Good people got this work done. Alan didn't do it all. Yeah, I got up here, I sweat too. I worked too when I could, but my guys did most of this work. They're talented, they're still here, and they've got a lot more to do right now, every guy that's there I've hired. I had a part in hiring. Nobody's there that was there when I came, and the last one just retired this year. So it's been a good crew. I hope they continue to grow. One of my guys, one of your all's graduates, is taking over for me, Bill Smith. He'll do good too. Because I've taken...
You trained him.
Yeah. Tried to. So, I've learned to take pride in this district. And in the 20 years I've been here, I've seen it change for the good. I've seen the schools change. I've seen the leadership change. I've seen the attitudes change. That's why our numbers are growing, because of all of your all's work, as well as, it takes us all as a team. From the custodian to the superintendent, it takes us all. And Larry and I have got along well. He's fussed at me a little. I fussed back a little. But we're still friends. We are. And I'm glad to say that. And I wish him well and the board well. And those that are still here and young enough to stay, I wish you well too. Just God bless you and to keep doing a good job.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta show that hammer.
Seriously.
Did Alan blink?
I'm gonna have to check.
I'll tell you, I've slept in many a high school and elementary school across the state of Kentucky when my kids were in high school. And I used to come back and tell Alan that our buildings looked better. They might have been older, but they looked better, they were cleaner, and they operated better than most across the state. And that's due to Alan and his team.